Hello, my name is Sarah and I've lost my voice. So I have changed the setup a little bit. I'm not sitting in a chair, I'm using a new lens. I've changed my bookshelves as well. Originally I had rainbow shelves. I had those for a really long time, but I just had to change it because I like to change. I just like to have my books and series together, and I was finding that I couldn't find anything. So I changed it. I've been buying more books than normal lately. For a while I was like, I'm not gonna buy any books. And then I was like, oh but wait, there's so many good things coming out. And then I bought books. So, I have 15 here and it sounds like a lot. So, last weekend I went to a comic convention that is local to me, Capital City Comic Con in Victoria, BC, Canada. Super dope. It was the first year. It was really good. I bet next year it's going to be even better because like you got to work out the kinks the first year. But so my favorite bookstore of all time, Russell Books, they had a stand at the convention. So I was like, oh, of course, like the one thing like that I'm going to buy at this convention, it's going to be books. Okay, so first here I got The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, Squirrel Meets World by Shannon Hale and Dean Hale. This was a super impulsive buy. It was $7.99. It's a new book. It's brand new. But I just have heard lots of good stuff about this book and it has really good reviews and I love superheroes and apparently it's just like this zany, quirky story about a girl with the powers of a squirrel. So I bought it. Then I got This Shattered World by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner, and this one I'm so stoked about. It was 10 bucks. Like I could spend $15, $16, $17 on a new copy from Amazon, or I could just get the used one, and it's like recycling, but to my heart. I read the first book of this series a while ago and I really liked it, so I have been meaning to pick up the next book in the series, even though it is a companion novel. The series is a companion series. So, and the reviews are just so good. I was like, I just can't. I just want to see what's going on. And Amy Kaufman has just been on frickin' fire with the sci-fi books lately, so I love a good sci-fi. As you do. Speaking of sci-fi, I got my baby! Star Wars The Last Jedi by Jason Fry, the novelization. It's a canon novel in the Star Wars universe that gives you a behind-the-scenes look into The Last Jedi. And I am currently reading this book. I just started it last night. Apparently there is top tier flirting between Ben Solo and Rey. So, apparently it's just a treasure trove of the things. So, I am excited. Next here, we are hopping on the hype train. Choo choo, next stop. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Fuck, I gotta Google this. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. So I've heard just amazing things about this book. Hannah over at A Clockwork Reader has said that this is just like a Zutara story. Like Zutara is Zuko and Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Best show ever. I love it. I was obsessed with this show and still am obsessed with the show. Apparently this book is just great. I don't know how much of that is the hype and how much of that is realistic, but I mean, I'm all aboard the hype train. Also, it's just so pretty, I have to say. But I mean, this is like an African fantasy story that apparently is just phenomenal with the world building and apparently is just so good. So this is next on the list after Star Wars, I think. I'm not sure, but yeah. Next here, I don't know if I showed this one or not, but I'll show you again anyway. But I got The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I have just finished this book and I adored it. So good, 5 out of 5. This is like by far the best Holly Black book that I've ever read. Like ever. This was a really hyped book. I thought it was a justifiably hyped book. So good. Alright, so next here we have a blast from the frickin' past. I am frickin' talking about the Witch series, as you do. Can you see? This series came out in like 2004, 2005. I was like 13 years old and it frickin' ensnared my love. Because I was all about the witches. It was called Witch, so I was immediately drawn to it from my library, and I was obsessed. There was a TV show that came after that. Lesser so obsessed with that, just because I was kind of like going into high school, and at that point I like had to pretend to like be normal. But now that I'm an adult, the amount of fucks that I give has gone from very high to very low. So Yen Press is re-releasing bind-ups of all of the original Witch graphic novels. So each of these books is 3 of the original novels. They're all like uncensored because apparently back in the day there was quite a lot of censoring from the original Italian version. Think of the children's. But I mean, it's full color. I like have blown through all of these. So like I've read the first 4 and I'm just like, I can't get any more because there's a couple more out now and then more are coming out in like June. So I'm pacing myself essentially because I'm for sure gonna be getting every single edition of these books because I didn't know that there was a hole in my heart that needed to be filled by Witch. But there is, and so now I can fill it with consumer products and nostalgia. So the next 2 books, they are local books, so I might have shown one of these books in my last book haul. I can't remember, so I'll just show you again. But so here we have 2 local spooky ghost books. Victoria's Most Haunted by Ian Gibbs and The Haunting of Vancouver Island by Shannon Sin. So Ian, he is a co-host of like one of my favorite hilarious podcasts ever, The Ghost Story Guys. Straight up, if you like podcasts that are zany, like even if you don't believe in ghosts, this podcast is amazing. It's Ian Gibbs and Brennan Storr is the other co-host, and their banter is hilarious. They have such professional like equipment because Brennan works in the radio industry, so just like the quality of their podcast is so good. For one of my projects, I am creating a podcast and it's gonna be like a spooky mystery podcast, so I've just like, give me all the inspiration. But also, it's just like, it gives you a local history that maybe you wouldn't have thought of before. But yeah, I mean, support your local authors. Both of these are from Touchwood Press. I'm disappointed because they are ever so slightly different, which sucks. But, I mean, hey, next here we have something that I bought off of Abe Books. It was supposed to be a hardcover book, but it's not. But here we have The Discovery of Insulin by Michael Bliss. So, I have type 1 diabetes. Fucking sucks. But this book apparently is really interesting from like a historical perspective of how they discovered insulin and all the crazy stuff that went down with it. And whew, let me tell you, from what I know, briefly, right now, it was very dramatic. This is Poppy, my dog. So tired. One of my dogs. She's been just wanting it to get in through the door, and now she's just taking it all in. Right, Poppy? Right, Poppy? She's the hostess with the frickin' mostess, and now she's gonna go on my bed and hopefully not ruin my books. But yeah, so The Discovery of Insulin by Michael Bliss. Good. Next here we have The Emotion Thesaurus, A Writer's Guide to Character Expression by Angela Ackerman and Becca Puglisi. Oh, it's like Khaleesi, but a pug. Whew. Okay, this is just a really interesting book that just tells you how to write good. Real good. Say you want your character to show determination. Then it has like physical signals, internal sensations, mental responses, cues of acute or long-term determination, or suppressed determination. The next 2 books are books sent by publishers, and so that is The Life and Death Parade by Eliza Wass. More like, what's up? Am I right? But it's all about like a psychic, but it's about this thing called the Life and Death Parade, and there's like psychics, and it sounded cool. So I was like, that sounds awesome. Yeah, this comes out June 26, 2018. I love a good spooky story that's kind of like set in a contemporary world, but like the world is normal, but there's also magic. Then that's the vibe that I'm getting from this. So, okay, and lastly, we have Defy the Stars by Claudia Gray, and this, oof, dust. This is a new cover. I'm pretty sure this has been out for a while. It has really good reviews. Claudia Gray, she's been writing a bunch of Star Wars novels now, which is so cool. I'm midway through Lost Stars by Claudia Gray, and I'm really liking it so far. I was like, hey, this sounds pretty good, but I mean, it's a sci-fi novel, which she does quite well, judging from what I read of Lost Stars, and like they trusted her to do Star Wars novels, so you gotta be a good writer to be trusted to write Star Wars novels. So it's like a girl and I think a robot, and they team up, and then there's like space conflict that they have to overcome. Woo! Space conflict. This is a chunky monkey of a book, but like I said, good reviews. But yeah, so those are the books that I have purchased and gotten in the past while. Is there more coming on the way? Yes. I live in a consumer culture, okay? This is fine. Don't stop. Just stop. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you have any comments on any of the books that I have acquired, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with another video, because I can edit them now.